Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boo! Good birthday, Marty! It totally didn't take me like 10 minutes to decide. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. And thank you so much. Good morning. That's my very first birthday gift today. Not many people know this song. Every day. Happy Otota. Arigato. Good morning. Salamat pagi. Did you know, guys, good morning. Did you know that today is my birthday? Wait a minute. What is she saying? Have you guys ever had one of those moments where you never really paid attention to the lyrics of a song until... Did you know that this song might not exactly be what I thought it would be? Good morning! Wow! Did you know? It's also... You're so right-ish, I guess. Happy birthday. Dang. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Boop, boop. Okay. All the time there are tons of songs with super catchy too. You're so right. You're so correct. Happy day of spawning. Good morning, Pharaoh. Pharaoh, did you know you're probably the first person?
Gerimen mentraktir 100 tamago. Happy
What
day
the heck?
Kanna gelombang.
What the heck, you guys? What the heck? 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 Wait a minute. How did I... Okay. We work brain chronologically. Is that the word? Guys, thank you so much. Okay, cool. How do I say Queeneth? Queeneth. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. That's crazy. Jeez, what the heck, you guys? What the heck? Are you guys... Ooh, what the freak? Okay, thank you so much. Jeez, Zane, did you give out more gifted subs too? Thank you so much. And Queena, did you just sub for 6 months, 6 whole months? Means you're gonna stick around for another 6 months, right? That's true, right? That's true, right? Thank you so much, Peachy Mustard Rice. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. That's so cool. Does that mean we have a hype train thingamajig? My gosh, thank you guys. Man, I haven't done it. I just existed, and thank you. Okay, I have to open. Pharaoh, thank you for the sub. Thank you, you guys. Did you know that I'm not used to getting gifts on my birthday, so this feels funny, but thank you. Let me open the local donation. I haven't opened that in a while, actually. Garymon, thank you so much for the 100 tamaga. Thank you so much for the eggs. Ah! How did you know I'm out of eggs already? How did you know I'm out of eggs? I just ran out. Does that mean I have to buy 100 eggs? My fridge is gonna be full of eggs. Let's go! My heart. 100 eggs, yeah. Yep, that's good protein. In Indonesia, there's something that I don't know if it's like a wives' tale or something, but they say that if you eat too many eggs, you get like
Raise the timer, woo.
Yeah, Momo, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. What's a timer? Is that the thingamajig?
Make it a 101 eggs.
Thank you for the bits. Thank you, Zane. I'll get 101 eggs. How long do eggs last if I'm alone? Azulachi, thank you so much for the gifted sub. You guys. Man, am I allowed to be this happy? Man, you know what? I'm just happy that there's so many people here accompanying me celebrate my birthday morning. Whee! Did you know you put a smile on my face? Not just today, every day though. And also, I may have gotten 7TV to work. I cannot confirm nor deny, but I pressed a button that says 7TV that I should have done ages ago. Tell me if it works, tell me if it does not. I'll never know. What the heck? What the heck? Are you serious? What the... What the freak? 50? Enjoy your eggs. Thank you so much. Queena, thank you so much. That's crazy. Are you okay? Guys, I'm not wearing glasses, so tell me I saw 5 and 0. That's crazy. Thank you so much. What the heck? And of course, Benders, thank you so much for the gifted sub. You guys. I don't know how to feel. Hydration. You're so correct. I have the bottle with me. It's the bottle that I got from Throne.
Don't know where this egg bit came from, but let's increasing her egg counter XD.
I'm drinking. Yum, 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 yum. Don't know where this egg bit came from. Okay, so it's a thing where I really like eggs. Eggs are awesome. Eggs are so good. So and like there's like this local platform in Indonesia where you can set the tipping thingy, and I set it to eggs. So then everyone just gets me hundreds and hundreds of eggs. And that's how I started a chicken farm. I'm kidding. Ning. Beep boop. Happy birthday, you short. Is that allowed? Auto mod. Is that a swear word? That's fine. That's totally fine. Allow. I should let Pharaoh do that instead. Guys. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. Quit it. Are you okay? What the freak? Another streamer who reads the auto mods. I'm so sorry. I said something the other day. Pharaoh doesn't know, does he? I keep reading the bad messages. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? Freaking heck. 5,000 bits. That's like twice the bit goal. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Are you? Is that okay? Stop reading the Autobot. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you know that I'm a very hyper creature? Did you know that? Did you know that I just say whatever comes to mind or comes into my eyes? Does that make me a nightmare for mods, you think? Does that? Anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Man, this morning. Yes. And happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bleep, 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 bleep. There's no filter between the frontal lobe and my mouth. You know what? That actually might be true. My mouth may be faster than my brain. Is that a problem? Do you think that's gonna be a problem from now going forward? Do you think... It's probably fine. It's probably fine. You know what? If I was supposed to have a filter between them, I would have had one, but I don't. But so maybe. What the... Wait, Azula, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I'm getting so many gifts today. So many gifts today. You guys are crazy. Dang. Okay, can I be honest? Can I be actually honest? Up until last night, I genuinely didn't know if anyone was gonna show up today. I was like, what if I'm just gonna spend my birthday? Well, I'll at least drag Pharaoh in with me, so he'll accompany me. Zane, thank you for the gifted sub. You guys, wait, what am I being signed up for? You adopted me. Willingly, might I add? If we say no, will you listen anyway? What if I listen? What if this year my resolution is listening? Right? That could be a birthday resolution. We're 3 months into the year. Girl, you don't even listen to your own body. You're not listening. I listen. Apparently, I listen to other people better than I listen to myself. Maybe? Maybe. It depends. I'll give it a month. Kanna was waiting on the Twitch homepage until midnight. Thinking that you were doing some countdown stream. I didn't get bored. Ray was streaming. Went to sleep. I'm like, you know what? That would have been a great idea. Did you know that people do countdown streams? I didn't know. Black Snake, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for the sub. You guys. She's gonna start listening or I shall fong her. What is fonging? Is that a bad thing? Is fonging not a thing? I don't know what fong is. Fong? Fong? Dong? Bong? I don't know what fong is. Fong? Long? Thong? I don't know. An idea for your birthday goal. Manage to do intentional races. Is that Tom and Jerry? Not the D. What? Not the D. What's a fong? I just want to know. What the heck? Me. Can always start. True. So my next birthday, I'll do a countdown. Will you guys come and count down the moments until my birthday? Because you know what? Actually, guys, it's like this year's probably the a first in a while where I actually remember my birthday. Because sometimes I just end up forgetting and then the day passed and I'm like, oh my god, today's my birthday. So this year I'm so happy that I remember it this time. I remember my birthday and I get to celebrate by spending the morning with you. I know it's not morning where you are, but it's morning. I woke up and I came here. And here I am. Good morning. Kanna day 20 already, but let's go! You guys give me such serotonin. I intentionally don't tell people so I can sleep in. And that's a great idea, actually. But what if you sleep in every day? Then it wouldn't be special unless you sleep in longer. She remember. I know, with my goldfish brain, can you believe it? I mean, I remember other people's birthday. I just forget my birthday. Is that terrible? Might be terrible. But like, I don't usually celebrate it that much. I would like usually just cook something for myself. And then I sit and well, get on with my day. But now I got a digital flat cake now. Look, do you see it? It's beautiful. Do you want to smell it? It smells wonderful. It's totally edible. It's totally edible. Man, can you guess the flavor? Guess the flavor. Delicious. Wonderful. It's cake flavor. Yes. How did you know? Tasty carb. Look at the dimensions. Did you see? Look at it. Wow. In like 2D. Amazing. That's more than 1D. Did you know? Pit flavor. How could you? Whoa! Hype train complete at level freaking 12. You guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely crazy. Let's see what we get. Boop, 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 boop. What that? Whoa. Bleed purple HD. Okay. Of course we'd get a purple thing. Does that mean I'm officially a purple-haired VTuber? You guys. Farah, according to Ray, you've enabled this behavior. What behavior, may I ask? Boop, 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 boop. Is it the sniffing? I'm just a dog, guys. I'm just a dog. Mean. The sniffer. Today. What am I gonna do today? Today I wanna read some birthday messages. If anyone left me any messages, that would be great. That would be lovely. If if it existed, if it doesn't exist, then that's okay too. It's fine. Don't worry. I have you guys here, and it's okay, and that's fine. I'm not used to celebrating my birthday. It's so weird. What if? Well, I forget. Because what if people forget? Me. Sippies. See, I hydrated. Aren't you proud of me? The forbidden compilation video. Okay. I have questions. Should I blow my candles? Stretch, you're so correct. Should I blow my virtual candles and sing happy birthday to myself? Because why not? Do you have anything more than cardboard cake? Can I be honest? I forgot to get cake. So more like I got cake and I ate it yesterday because I forgot it was for my birthday. Anyway. So today I was gonna make cake right here for you, and then I realized that I only have instant noodles. So then I thought, you know what? Indomie cake is a thing. Correct. Instant noodle cake. Because what is the hallmark of a celebration? MSG. I mean cakes. Delicious, wonderful cakes. You know, happy birthday, hooray! Chat, say hi to my best friend who's always mildly concerned about me. Say hi to Ray. Me. I think I remember how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Someone shout out Ray. I forgot how to do the shout out again. Mimi, did you just... Girl, did you? Wow, how did you do that? Pool noodle, not a pool noodle, good sir. Man, Zane, thank you for the gifted sub. Beep beep boop boop. Did you know, Ray, did you know there are trains on Twitch? They're called hype trains. Did you know we got to level 12? Beep boop. Scam trains. Oh, they're scam trains. If you say noodle cake, do you mean the raw uncooked noodle? Oh, that's a great idea. It'll be crunchy for texture. You're so correct. Do not eat. What's wrong with the raw noodle? They're fine. They are cooked. They have been cooked. They have been fried. Right? Kanna was talking like her fridge was full. Now we... I have eggs. Well, no, I ran out of eggs. What do I have? But like, what I have in my fridge is not cake material. I mean, I could... They're all leftovers. Do I build a leftover cake? I could. Actually, I could. I can build a cake out of leftovers. That's genius. That's actually genius. Holy crap. That satay marinade from last year can finally be used. Could be like a sauce. That's perfect. That's a great idea. Yeah. I could get that. And they're a caution, but you don't have... Wait, what's wrong with eating the noodle? Right. No, wait, you guys don't do that. Once when I was younger, I got hungry in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. I was too lazy to cook it, so then I just crunched up the noodle brick, and then I just crunched up the noodle brick and then poured the seasoning powder on top and shook it like whoosh 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 whoosh, and then it became noodle snack. Right. Yeah, you crush it up in the pack. Rin knows. Rin understands. See, and if we understand. That's MSG. It works. If you don't have potato chips, then that works. Right? Oh, I have potato chips. Can that go in the cake? You can't make budget mommy noodle stack by doing that. It's not the same. It's not. I get it, but you don't have to live like you're scavenging from the convenience store bin. But usually the bins have like still roughly decent food in them, no? And I thought I was poor. Yeah, you literally just made mommy noodle stack. Yeah. Yes, it's all delicious. Okay, so back to the... So, I have a concern. First of all, I don't have a webcam. And my dad took his camera back. All I could probably do is just take pictures of what I make. But I don't know if that would be entertaining enough for you. You know what I mean? You can't see what I'm doing. I would just be describing what I would do. And then put pictures. Is that okay? And also, I have to be able to finish it in approximately 1 hour maximum. Cause I want to read the birthday messages. And then my family's kidnapping me away. And I have to be honest, I haven't showered. I woke up and came right here. I haven't showered. I smell like dog that haven't showered today. Meep moop. Kanna, don't justify it. Monday. I haven't showered. Please don't hate me. I swear, I still smell amazing. Like, I smell fine. I don't smell anything. It's fine. I smell wonderful. You would be lucky to smell me. Stink. I'm not stinky. I smell amazing. Where's Ray? She's the only one who can prove to the world I'm not stinky. Kanna likes the... I bet you smell like week old dog, but she doesn't stink. Thank you, but she sniffer. Why did you put the pharaoh thing? Why did you? And he was throwing fingers at me. What? Saying it was your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Why are you arguing? Like mom and dad being like, it's your daughter. No, it's yours. You taught her this. Where are you? You have both taught me good things. I have learned many things. I feel like this is all somehow Michi's fault. I mean, shit, you know, in the family, you might have like that cool auntie that just comes by and like, well, basically ruin the children. That's her, probably, right? I told Pharaoh he must have smelled like something that Kanna is sniffing you. Drunk on energy. Yeah, she has the drunk auntie energy. I can't describe it better than that. She'll just show up high as heck and have a blast. Yep. And take no responsibility. Yep, exactly. Michi is the auntie who babysits and gives the kids sugar and caffeine right before... Yes. You know what? Yes. Anyway, anywho's, I have very finite amount of what could be a cake in my house. Well, okay, no, okay. I'm a liar. I probably have everything I need to make a cake. I just don't have the time. Because baking a cake... It took me 3 days to bake a cake with Muna, and... it has low-key traumatized me. So honestly, Indomie might be the way to go. You know what I mean? If I'm like... What if I'm just here for like 3 days? It took me 3 days to bake with Muna. I have to make the filling on the first day. And then we made the cream thing. And then we made the cake. And then we decorate. It took forever. You know? It would be a marathon stream. You know? Even when we pre-prepped everything, right? It still took so long to decorate the cake. We can do the cake baking another day. True. May I ask, how old are those ingredients? Does that matter? Do the age of the ingredients matter, good sir? I don't remember when I got the cake flour. It may have been last year. I think it may have been last year. But flowers last so long. Don't you work in a bakery? Yes, I do. So I don't bake at home. You know what I mean? So like all the stuff that gets like used up and buy new one, that's the bakery. But at home, I don't get the chance to bake anymore, you know. Didn't you say you were out of eggs? How do you make egg cake without eggs? You are so correct. I may have to get eggs from convenience store. Anyway, yeah, so basically, I think you're right. I don't have the ingredients to make a cake. That will not kill me. You know? Happy birthday, Kanna. Thank you, Mage. Did you know that it's my birthday? Did you know that it's my birthday today? Did you know? She can just lay some eggs. That's not how it works, good sir. That is not how it works. I'm gonna make... Oh my god, Pharaoh! Are you getting angry? Is that what the caps lock means? Pharaoh. Yeah. Don't worry. That's why I said I'm not making the cake. See? Why is Ray laughing? Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Very concerned. I alerted him. Okay. That's why I thought... You know what it is? Actually, sometimes, what I feel like goes bad more at my place is like instant noodles. Because I like the idea of having instant noodles, but I don't eat them much anymore. Because they don't keep me full. So then every time I want to eat it, they're all expired. And then I have to eat expired instant noodles. And you know, sometimes their seasonings are supposed to be powder. They're not powder anymore. They're just rock solid. And that's very difficult to mix with the noodles. You know? But it is what it is. I can feel the Modern Warfare 2 lobby rising up in my soul right now. I gotta give this up, I don't know why. Because why not? Thought I was prepared due to Michi. What do you mean? What are you implying? Wait, instant noodles can expire. Yeah, apparently they can expire. And sometimes I think they're still a few days away from expiring, but the seasonings are already solid like a rock. You know, I think they absorb the humidity from the air. So it was probably not sealed correctly, you know? Wow, I was 7-7 so far. Congratulations! You are the 777 follower! Yippee! You've won nothing but my congratulations. Congratulations! Beep boop. Miana, thank you for the redeem. I should hydrate. She's non-alcoholic, but she does get suited from dehydration. Are you talking about me? That might be true. Why do I feel like each of the girlies make very concerning food choices? It's not concerning. That's why I said I don't eat them much. Kanna legs not... They're crossed. My legs were crossed. My legs were crossed. How did you know? You're so correct. What if I have bad knees? I'm turning 17. Man, people get bad knees at 17, right? Right, chat? She hates me, chat. She wants me to know. Please, posture check. And I was also hunched over like a shrimp. Tada! Straight back, straight legs, but I can't touch the floor. Oh my god! You know what I should have done? I should have put like a footstool on throne. Would that be smart? Would that be smart? 17 to the 7 days. I'm not 17 anymore, and my knee. Now, Ray. I think Ray has worse knees than I do, actually. I've told you to do that countless timmies. You're so correct. You're so correct. I don't know what's a good footstool. You know what I do have though? You know what I do have? I have the stools that's like for the toilet. Did you know? Because when I sit on the toilet, I can't step on the ground. So I have to use a stool so that I can sit on the toilet. Life is difficult, you know? You know? I have that one. That means that... Could I use the same one for the PC room? Get a toilet stool. Dang. Dang. What? Thank you for that information that I'm going to compartmentalize and forget that I know. Hashtag just small people think you don't understand. You don't understand. Life is difficult. It's good though. Because if you don't, your legs will be flying. Can you imagine sitting on the toilet and you can't reach the floor? You know how difficult it is to balance? You're right, I don't understand. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Anyway, so I should get a stool. I just picture you standing on a small stepladder making a cake at your counter. That is what I do. I have a stepladder thing in the kitchen because I can't reach stuff on in my cupboard. Yeah, and sometimes like you know when you're trying to like knead dough, like pasta dough or like bread dough, you know, like it's hard to get like pressure on it because you need to be kind of taller than the counter table at a certain point, right? So then I just go on my tippy toes and then I push down and hopefully let gravity assist. Do you know? Last time I understood that for the toilet, I was in kindergarten. Oh. Okay, please confirm that she do this in the bakery. Not in the bakery anymore because I got it at a special... We had to custom order a special table, right? Then I just got it at a better height. I just got it at like a lower countertop height. Aren't I smart? That way, I can like be on my tippy toes a little bit. Baby table. I swear, she crawls on everything, doesn't she? They got custom tables at the bakery because we are so tall. I know. Kinda show them the new I don't like you. I don't. This is not what I signed up for. How could you do this to me? Wait a minute. Let me. I have to save it, don't I? Or screenshot. Pharaoh, are you really getting these for me for my birthday? Is this really how you want to celebrate my birthday? I'm just gonna screenshot it. How could you do this to me? I thought I don't like where this is going. Okay, save to download. See. I go. Chincha. I'll show the first one. I don't like it. There. Can you believe the audacity of this man? I talk big game for someone whose feet don't touch the ground when I sit in a chair. Wow. He you know what? You know, Pharaoh sent this to me at 3 freaking a.m. and just said, I'm getting you this for your birthday. At 3 a.m. 3 a.m. The dedication of this man. The absolute dedication. Wow. Do you want to see the next thing he sent me? The rude, absolutely rude. What the heck is the height chart? What the freak? Here. Cursed height chart. Happy birthday, Kanna. Thank you. Thank you. Did you know that today's my birthday? Look, I have a cake and everything. That wasn't 3 a.m. But it's 3 a.m. for me. It's 3 a.m. for me. The heck is this height chart? Does that mean I'm an all-knowing deity? I do know all. How did you know that I am an all-knowing... Girl, I have to stand on your tips, so just... That is not true. That is not true. You know how I can prove it to you? I can stand up and prove it to you that it's not at the... I don't like this tracking thing. I absolutely do not like this. Why does it all... I'm gonna sit down now. I'm gonna stand up again. I'm gonna... Oh, come on! She jumped off the... I don't like it. Am I technically, according to this inaccurate height chart, am I technically a gremlin? Is that what you are telling me? I think this is incorrect. I think this is incorrect. Okay, last one. It better be the last one, Pharaoh. This better be the last one you send me at 3 a.m. Jeebus. Bejeebus. Okay, wait. I love how there's the play button there because why not me? Okay. I dare you to call me short one more time. Get the knife out. Get the knife out. Get the dang knife. You know what? I dare you to call me fucking short one more fucking time. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You know what? Short is a perspective. Short is, you know what? That's a subjective. It's a subjective term. Did you know? Did you know that being short is totally subjective? Did you know I'm actually this tall? But, you know, because I pity you, I pretend to be short. At her height, the knife is more like a toothpick. Missed opportunity to say being short is a matter of perspective. Yeah, being short is a matter of perspective. I'll have you know, for some people, I'm actually tall. For some people, I'm actually super tall. You know, and that's important for me to remember. How many rides can I can get on rides on a theme park? I haven't been one in a very long time, but I'm sure if I went, I could totally get on. I could totally get for babies. Kanna is super tall. Is it copium or is it hopium? Toddlers are people too. Toddlers are people too, you know, guys. You know, guys. Okay, so I actually prepared a cake, an empty cake tin thingamajig. What's the thing? Cake mold. I have prepared I got the water heater thingamajig, but I don't have water. I think the crispy noodle cake idea is great. Cause no water required. And I just stab the candle in. You're on for the next hour, right? You're not allowed to enter. Water. No water, no egg, no cake. No, I can still do it. Let me get the noodles. I'll put the candles in the noodle. Okay, wait for me. I'm gonna get the noodles and find the candles. I swear, it's happening. I have my drinking water. But if I use that for the noodles, then I can't drink. But you know what? I could just get water outside, but you know. Hydrate. The amount of people. Thank you, Ken and Miano. Thank you for always being concerned of my hydration. Beep bloop. My nose is so itchy. Hydrate. I'm drinking. Save the drinking water for drinking. Cake with 99% air? No way. Ain't no way. Okay. I'll get the noodles so we can make a cake. And then I'll find the candles. We'll blow the candle. And then we'll read messages. Perfect! Perfect, Kanna, with her imagination. I swear, no, it's a cake. It's a cake. Wait for me. I will prove to you. I will prove to you that I am able to get cake. I'm getting a cake. I'll be right back. I'm getting a cake. Wait for it. I have returned triumphantly. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. 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 Welcome back. Thank you. Were you waiting for me? You waiting for me? I got all the stuff. Did you miss me? Did you forget me? Did you miss me? I'm back. Beep boop. Okay. So, turns out, dude, who is this? How could you? Did not make a what do you mean? I'm so dedicated. I got the lighter. I found the lighter to light up fire. It's gonna be so great. I got up a thingy to fire. Okay. Do not listen to me. Yes. But yes. Yes. What is your concern? It'll be fine. Very Why do you guys not trust me so much? Ferris DMing me out of concern. Pharaoh. Kanna, yes. Did you know that Pharaoh texted Kanna? Yes. What is the expiry? Let's check. Pew! State all the expiry. Did you call me, Pharaoh? Ray, did you want to join the call too? Thank you. How did you know that I sneezed? Did you hear me? Did you call me? Commit arson. Here, I'll call in the other one. Wow, he really is concerned. Wait, they can't hear you yet, Pharaoh. A moment in time. Hello, can you say hello? Oh, wait, why can't I hear you? Here, how do I add? Ray. There. I cannot. Oh, so what I'm hearing is that Pharaoh cannot stop me. That's what I'm hearing. Did you know that Pharaoh can't stop me? That's amazing. Hey Pharaoh, I called and the one where Ray is there. Hold, I'm at the toilet. You're gonna. No, don't pick up, Ray. What if we hear sounds that... Maybe start the fire? Okay, means we have time. Pharaoh's Discord is currently being poo-poo. So, as I was saying, I got... you know what? We'll start with the expiry date. You're right. Let's check with that. Let's start with the expiry. That would be the correct way to start. My birthday is to see the noodle's birthday. Aren't I so smart? Did you know that apparently I'm supposed to have high IQ? Did you know? Wait. Ta-da! Because you can't see because I don't have a hand cam. Who told you that? Wait a minute. Okay. I got 2 noodle packs. Where's my phone? Actually, do I have a phone? Excuse me, I need to get my phone to take photos. Beep boop. I got my phone. My brother left me alone. Where is my brother? Why did my brother leave me on my birthday? Did he go out on a date on my birthday and not get me cake? Hello? Man, my table is so full. Okay. Did Kanna's IQ have an integer overflow? Probably. Yes. I love how Pharaoh is like trying to type instructions on how to live. Okay, so I'll take a picture of the expiry. Expiration date. Wait. Is that what it is? I see a bunch of numbers. According to the Discord status page, there were words failing to make new calls. Wow, did you know that Pharaoh can't warn me because Discord is being poo-poo? Did you know? Wait, I will send a photo to myself. Hi Kanna, hi chat. What's this about an expiration date? Oh my god, did you know that today's my birthday and I'm making birthday cakes? I'm checking the expiration date. Aren't I so smart? Did you know? Well, I didn't know. I didn't know, and someone had to tell me that expiration dates must be checked. Did you know? You know what? You're right. People eat noodles for long life. So really, this is actually big brain. Actually, this is the best cake that could ever exist. This is actually the best. It works out. Oh my god. Girl, you made 2 chats. Yes. Yes, I did. Yes. Should I call in the other one? Here, call. Hydrate. Cannon Bender, thank you for the reminder. Noodle cake with fire. Yes, exactly. That's the vision. You understand? That's the vision. Do you guys have Slack? The amount of concern that Pharaoh is exhibiting. They literally can't call me. That's so funny. Let's see. Who knew that Discord would just break at the most crucial moment? Did you know that happens? Save. Okay. Are we ready to check the expiration date? Ready. Today's expiration date. What is that? Where is that? Where is it? There you go. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't know where. I didn't have the normal Indomie. I only have Indomie Chabe Ijo. I only have the green one. Kanna, you're gonna give Pharaoh a heart attack. But it's not me. What do you fill the middle with? And what kind of thing do you layer with it? What spices? Now those are all good. It's safe. It's safe. It's back on. It's back on, chat. It's happening. It's happening. It's best before, not expiry date. Exactly. NFS understands. You know what? It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion that you may or may not consume it. Wait, I've never had... You've never had this flavor before? Really? Wait. Do I have a picture of just the front? Wait. Beep boop. Take photo. Wow, you're gonna... I'm sorry that sneeze came out of nowhere. It literally came out of nowhere. I couldn't stop it. Bless you, thank you. It came and went so fast. You know how sometimes you kind of feel an itch in your nose and then you're kind of like, I kind of want to sneeze. It didn't happen. It came out like a wrecking ball situation, you know? You've never had this. This Indomie is so good. I think it's probably Ollie's favorite flavor as well. I love this one. Wow, my mouse pad is dusty. Here. Oh, wait. I can show my mouse pad. Ish. Little bit. While I take a picture of this Indomie. And getting sidetracked from what I'm supposed to be doing. Expiration dates are only legally valid on baby food. Everything else is a suggestion. Unless it's mold, then I guess that's not a suggestion. I think a mold is... Wow, you can see my cables. Wait, retake. Need to get better angle. Okay, you know what? There's gonna be my cables on it, and my keyboard, and my bottle, but it is what it is. Yeah, okay. Let me load the picture of the flavor. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. I'm having such a great birthday. Did you know it's my birthday? I'm so happy. Yippee. Okay, here we go. Boop. Tada! Tada! It says mee goreng. Mee goreng, which means fried noodle. And then fried noodle and cabe ijo is green chili. So the whole thing turns green. So cute, right? Someone sent me like a Tamadachi sent me this mouse pad. They sent me 2 mouse pads. I have them and they're so cute. It's like full. It's like huge, but yeah, it's too green. We don't have this flavor available here. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's such pretty art. They commissioned the art and then they printed it into like a huge desk mat and then sent it over all the way to Indonesia. Isn't that crazy? Man, I always use it. I'm so happy. One day I'll post like the full thing. Over here in the US, we only have soy sauce and hot and spicy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So today, well, I'm gonna make it into cake, so it might not be an accurate representation. But I will describe it as best as possible as a cake. Okay, so. Me. Because we're gonna make it into cake, I think I'm gonna put it on a plate and then put the candles in and then light up fire. Should I have adult supervision? But that should be fine. Okay. I got 2 plates. Check the group chat. And Did Ray make a Zoom call? I don't even... Bro. Cancel. Wait. I don't even know if I have Zoom. Girl. Join from browser. Is that how it works? Please don't. Egg. Wait. What's my Zoom name, you think? Is this gacha 10 out of 10? Wonder what my Zoom name is. Remember, it auto-loads your camera. Do you know that I do not own a camera? Did you know that I do not own a camera? A webcam? Because I might be dumb. Wait a minute. Wait a dang minute. Oh. I hear myself. Mute. Why am I hearing myself? Why do I hear myself? Is that you, Pharaoh? Bro. Oh, okay, wait. How do I... It's on Pharaoh. Pharaoh is like... Oh, my tummy is rumbling. Do you think I'm hungry? Hey, Ray, can you say something? I'm double. It's on Pharaoh. Pharaoh is like... No, did you hear that?
Wait,
Ah!
so like, why is Kanna's voice on Pharaoh's Zoom? How does that work?
I don't know how it works.
Because it was set to the wrong audio source. That's what it was. For whatever reason, it was
So you can unmute Kanna.
what do you call it? It was
I can unmute.
picking up the browser instead of my microphone. It should be picking up.
Talk.
How do I make Ray's
Can you hear
voice louder? You're so tiny.
I'm tired.
No, I can't hear either of you. Why can't I hear either of you?
Oh.
Ah!
Hold on.
Ray's voice is teeny tiny, right, chat? It's like so tiny.
Hold on.
I don't even know how to fix it.
You
Who
need to
uses
check
Zoom
your,
anyway?
Audio
Audio
input,
settings.
because I had to change mine because for whatever reason it defaulted to
Oh.
my browser for some reason.
Oh. Audio profile.
Is it still? It is still. Hold on.
Discord is dying for. I know, right? The amount of.
Yeah, if you just at the bottom of the screen there where it says audio,
Is
click
it
on the
better
little
now, or is
arrow
it
and
still,
it'll
like,
give you a
small?
list of
It's still
sources that you
pretty
can
teeny
choose from.
tiny.
Why is it teeny tiny?
It's absolutely teeny tiny. Also, my tummy is rumbling. Is it? You know what? You can fix that while I get the plate. Did you know that I got plates? I got plate.
Oh, wait, is this better now?
Yes, you sound normal. Holy crap.
Okay.
Chat, can we hear them? Are their voices
Can you hear me?
A-okay?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, we can hear Emo Cat now. Exactly.
I can
Okay.
I can only hear you on Kanna's stream. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
I can't hear you
Huh.
in here for some reason.
The fuck?
Okay.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I
wait,
got
hold on.
skeezers. Wait a
There we
minute.
go.
I'm gonna crawl down here for a second. Oops, maybe not. Yep.
Oh,
Why does my
Now I
cat?
can hear you guys in. Now I can hear you guys in here. I don't know
Can
what
we
was
can
going
we
on
just
there.
ignore my? Why does it do that when I squat? Okay, I'm gonna get it real quick. Don't look. Nyaha, I did it without. Why is it weird now? Why is it
you
weird
know,
now?
Kanna,
Yes.
do you at least grow a centimeter taller on your birthday?
No.
Oh my god, that's the dream.
If anything, she lost a centimeter would be my guess.
Hey,
That's kind of sad. Not gonna lie.
I got
Honestly.
choppy sticks. Wait.
Did you see the shirt?
What shirt?
The one I'm gonna figure out some way to get.
Oh,
Kanna
Oh,
for her
that
birthday.
one.
Wait,
You
I
can just
can't
send it
reach.
to me or
I
something.
can't reach the lighter.
Figure
I'll
it
be
out.
right back. If I get
It's
it
more
with
a
my
matter
foot.
of trying to. I'm probably have to get it made because that the video that it's on doesn't have like a shelf or anything attached to it.
I
So.
got the lighter
Oh,
with my
God.
foot.
Do you want me to ask a friend to make it and then I send it to Kanna? You just have to tell me the entire
Kanna.
text and like the format
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
yes, that's perfect. We'll talk.
We can arrange that. We can arrange
Yeah.
that.
We need to make sure that it's large size though this time.
Beep boop.
Get it at XXL. It'll be really funny.
It's just gonna drag on the floor, you dodo head.
She could pitch it
But
as
that's
a
the
tent at that
but that's
point.
the entire point. Like
You could just
literally,
pitch it
like
a tent.
your clothes right now, literally you have off shoulder. That means your jacket is too large for you. Therefore, the t-shirt should be XXL.
What is
all-
this
it's
logic?
all-
What is this logic?
That is a wild first message there, no name, buddy. You might want to reconsider
Can we see
that.
the dogs? What dogs?
What
I'm
dog?
the dog.
She is the
Okay.
dog. Well,
She is
This
the
is it.
dog.
This is all you get. Bark, 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 bark. Hello. Did you know that it's my birthday today? Can you tell?
She's,
Can you tell it's my birthday today?
she's 17 going on 28.
I'm just 17, going still 17. Na 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 na.
What are we at? What are we on? 17 season 8 now? Season 9 something like that?
Guys, ASMR.
oh. You know, Kanna, you have to go downstairs in like 5 minutes, right?
In 5 minutes? What do you mean?
Yep. You have to go downstairs in 5 minutes.
You do. You do have to
5
go downstairs in
minutes?
5 minutes. Yes.
Why?
Yeah, you have to go downstairs in 5 minutes.
You do. Just
What
trust-
about my noodle ASMR? What's happening in
Well,
5 minutes?
Just go downstairs in 5 minutes. You can come back to
You
your
have to
noodle
you have to
ASMR.
go downstairs in 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Do I have to wear a bra?
Well, you have to meet someone.
Yeah.
Kind of, but
so
not really.
You might wanna.
So much F. Okay. I have to go
You have
now
to go down
in
5
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yes.
Do I continue the ASMR?
That's fine.
Look,
You can continue the ASMR for the next 5
did you
minutes.
hear?
Honestly,
Totally unimportant. Yes.
you might want to go down now or something and just wait
What
for
the
it.
freak? Okay, who do I meet? What are they wearing? What do I say? Will they know what I look like?
You'll know who they are.
What do you mean?
You'll know
I'll
who they are because I told him to like call your name, Lamo.
Wait. What are you doing? They call your name, okay?
They will call your name.
Okay, I
Yeah,
gotta go put on a... Girl, man, I was
Just
not...
get a jacket.
Just put on a jacket or something. Trust. Ray's cooking. Just go downstairs. Ray is cooking. Go downstairs. Sin, God only knows what she's got to do. Is she supposed to leave in 10 minutes? Probably. Is she going to leave in 10 minutes? Probably not.
It's great that she left.
I know, right? That's too funny. That is too funny. Jeez.
I mean,
yeah, Ray, I will.
Yeah?
Whenever Discord decides to stop being stupid, we'll talk and we'll get that shirt
Sure.
sorted out because I desperately need. There's actually several shirts that I'm gonna send you.
all good. Okay, guys, she's not here, and I know usually she would not bring her phone downstairs. Therefore, TLDR, I basically had a race with time with when she starts streaming. And also when the cake store opens. So I'm like, do you have any cakes today? And they're like, we have 2 left. I'm like, oh shit, okay, can I have it now? And they're like, oh yeah, we can prepare, because usually they have like a time slot where it's like at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m. And I'm like, no, right now. I had a hunch, honestly. I do like the stupidest things. I'm not the best at hiding it, but I don't think she would expect me to get her a whole cake. Because when I heard like the whole Indomie stuff, I'm like, no. None of that bullshit. Absolutely zero. No.
And Indomie for birthday is not it. That is just not. This is not it. That is not the way.
It's just fucked up because like the cake stuff opens like around the time she's just like, I have to leave in at least approximately 1 to 2 hours. And I'm like, cold sweats. That's fucked. She's gonna be so confused, I feel. Hehe. When you asked her to stream for another hour, I got suspicious. I know. But at the same time, I also wanted to get on because I was literally like in a meeting this morning. I'm just like, you like stream for another hour because I want to watch you stream.
And Ray's like DMing me like, Pharaoh, like delay her.
Stall her.
Stall her. And I'm like in another meeting. Like I'm like,
we're
girl,
both
what do you
on
mean?
We're both on meeting mode, and I'm like, I need someone to stall this girl. That's why I'm like, expiry thoughts. Please get it soon. I hope she finds it. Lamo. I don't even know if she brought her phones. I can't even check if she got it.
She's got only. We'll just have to wait for Kanna.
I'm just waiting. If like the delivery suddenly disappears, it means the order has been received. But if not, then I'm fucked. but I did get the delivery. So hopefully she finds it. I don't know if she really went to get a bra or something. Delivery complete, guys. She's on the way back. Huzzah!
Amazing.
Surely. She's gonna be so confused. Literally me stalling her the entire time. We are not... Here's the thing, guys. If she cooks that Indomie in her fucking stream room again, that room is now like soundproof isolated. That shit is going to smell like Indomie chabe for the next like how many days? A week? A week at most. I don't know. So, better make it smell like something else instead of Indomie chabe ijo. Like anytime she opens the damn door, it's pretty isolated there. I don't see an issue with that. It's more like oily food smell will kind of like stain and kind of like stay on the walls, especially with soundproof. So it's actually not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not good for your
No.
lungs and stuff like that. Yeah, airflow is very important.
Airflow is important. Like soundproofing is cool, but you still need to have airflow of some sort.
Yeah, unless her room is just like brick walls that doesn't really stick and you can just like wipe them off. But like with soundproof rooms, it's not like that. Yeah. I want an Indomie fragrance. Honestly, I did find something recently where they basically sold like a caramel pudding perfume. Oh, I see her model moving.
Excuse me.
Yes, you're
all,
excused.
You got me cake. You got me cake. You got me cake. Thank you so much.
It's your
Good
birthday.
job, Ray. Good job.
Aw, did you know that the delivery person, did not say my name?
Oh, I already told him like.
You know
Bro.
what? They were running around the place calling Ray, Ray, Ray. And you know,
But the delivery is someone else. I literally wrote your name. My
it's
brother
so
in
funny.
Christ.
It's so funny. I'm like, I wonder which one. I was like, Ray. And you know what's funny? I'm wearing the shirt with your face on it.
You are fucking kidding me. I wore that to
wear it
bed
on-
last night. Stop!
So guys,
Stop!
I have a shirt with Ray's face on it, really big. Right? I wore that. And so
I was wearing that shirt to bed last night. You're not supposed to have the same clothes as me on the same day. What the hell?
And then so I walked and the delivery person took one look and he goes, "Are you Ray?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, look, do you not see my shirt that has this giant picture of my friend and says
Bro, I
Ray?"
wrote her name as the
Oh my
recipient.
God.
Like,
They
what
were
the
like,
fuck?
"Are you Ray? Are you Ray Levere?" And I'm like, "I am Ray Levere. How did you know?" Oh my god.
I hate it here. I fucking hate it here. You know, life is tough. Life is fucking hard. Like, why the fuck
It's
were you
so
using my
funny.
face?
but
I'm gonna make one for
it
you
works
too. I have so many
out.
pictures. I
But
still
it
have you and your Omaru face. I'm gonna make that into a fucking shirt.
But it works out. Imagine I could have been a stranger who was claiming to be Ray Levere, but because I wore a shirt with Ray Levere's face on it and Ray Levere's name on it, the delivery person trusted me right away. It was perfect.
This is
it was
how
absolutely perfect.
this is how I get doxxed. That's Jover, man. I have literally 5 people who can dox me at any fucking time. This is crazy.
You know what's funny? The shirt was for Ray's birthday, right? So it literally says it's Ray's birthday with like a cake and your face on it.
That's
It's
so
I hate it
happy
here.
birthday! Yippee!
It's your birthday. They only had 2 options, but I felt like you might like that one, so I'm like,
I do I saw the flavor and I was like so excited, super excited.
literally, like when you started stream, I'm just like, she needs to be on for a while. And then you said, I might have to go in the afternoon. I'm like, this is bad. Me at the the cake store. Can I get a cake now? Like now.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Seriously, I take a pic. I should probably take off the sign that says your government name. Because it's right
Why
there.
the hell is there my government name? I only asked for your name to be on. Why is my government name
funny.
there?
It's so fun. It's okay. It's outside the box. It's outside the box. The inside of the
Okay.
box is my name. It's outside of the box.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
worry. I'm not that stupid.
You know, it'll be funny. Like she takes a picture and then she forgot that my government name is at the corner of the picture, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's it, guys.
Oh
I'm
my
doxxed
God.
for good.
Because like I was gonna hand cam, right? And I'm like, what if I do something stupid? And because I don't have a webcam, I only have my phone. What if I accidentally press like selfie cam or something? But then we'd be doxed together because my shirt is the one with your face on it. Remember?
You would double dox me my face and my government name? It's Jover. Now they know my government name, my face, and the country I live in. It's fucking Jover. It's horrible. The only thing saving me is this forest. I'm never coming out of this forest for the next 2 years until people forget.
That's amazing.
That is-
Okay.
That's amazing.
Don't
Her actual face, yes!
worry.
They use my face as reactions. That's why I'm not safe.
Yeah, like our
Yeah.
WhatsApp group, our Discord, everything just has Ray's face on it because she makes the funniest faces.
That's
We use it
It's
as like a
Jover.
sticker, you know, sticker.
It's
They're
Jover.
also
I'm
funny.
for good.
Ray. If it makes you feel any better, my face is going through getting the same treatment in Michi's community. So.
Oh well, I guess that's why we're friends, huh?
We share a lot of the same pain. Is what it is. We share a
The
lot
cake
of-
smells so
Yeah.
good. What the heck? What the heck? Oh my god, I swear, you guys. Ray went the extra mile and got me a cake from my favorite cake place ever in a flavor that she knows I will love. I will love this. It's
You got really lucky. I'm like, please have a good cake this month. Please have a good cake this month. I see tiramisu. I'm in.
It's
Go.
tiramisu.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh my
That is so good.
God.
Yeah, that is very good.
I'm getting so many gifts today. That's crazy.
There was an option for chocolate, but I know that you're more of a tiramisu girl than chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, you know, mascarpone, coffee,
Cheese.
mascarpone, coffee, mascarpone.
Yeah.
Did you know that I like mascarpone?
It sounds.
Is that how you read it? Oh my god, they even give they give you a match. Is that safer
Yeah.
than a lighter? I've never lit a match
Yes.
before.
What?
I've never lit
How
a
did-
match before.
Have you never lit a candle before with like a match?
It's
Have
terrifying.
you just been living in a? What?
It's absolutely
it's not.
terrifying. It's you go like swoosh and then it goes like poof. You know? It's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh my god, she's been living in the future before I did. Like literally, I was always using a
No,
match.
I
I
just
hate
turn-
lighters. I'm scared.
No, I don't. I just go to the stove and put the candle on the stove.
I would never do that. I literally have matchsticks wherever I like in my house.
You have matchsticks in your house?
Yeah, cause that's the nicest way to light a candle near the Jesus altar. You know, like hello.
Excuse me.
Why are you
Okay.
laughing at my Jesus altar? It's
I'm
literally
not
like
laughing at your Jesus altar. I just forgot that there are usages where you have like cause like okay, you're the only friend I have who has a Jesus altar at her house. Who has
I
that?
mean-
Like think about it.
I
Like,
mean,
chat,
hey,
think
listen.
about it. Who?
No, what do you mean? You know, if I have to have one accurate Oshi, it has to be God and Jesus, right?
I mean, you're not
That
wrong,
is-
but
wait.
also
That is
What?
the first time I have ever heard somebody refer to Jesus as their
as an Oshi.
That
Actually,
is
Kami Oshi.
amazing. Kami
Actually,
Oshi.
Kami
Exactly,
Oshi.
Kami Oshi. Let's
It's
fucking go.
Literally Kami Oshi, no?
Yeah, it is Kami Oshi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
This is
not
why I
how
don't
thought
have
this
Kami
conversation-
Oshis. I only have Oshis because the Kami Oshi is just him. Haha.
I see.
Literal,
Ah, yes, my
literal
Kami Oshi. Jesus Christ. Exactly. Okay. I will put the cake and the Indomie cake next to each other. I'm such a genius. I'm so smart, actually.
Can you not make the Indomie cake? Because I feel like your room is gonna stink. Bad.
No, I'm just gonna stab it in the hard noodle brick. Aren't I a
That is
genius?
horrible.
I'm such a genius. Let's go. I'm on this. Okay.
I feel like there is culinary sacrilege taking place right now.
No. I'll boil it later. Boil for safety. Okay. I have some. Okay. Full disclosure, obviously did not get myself birthday candles, so I have used candles from my dad's birthday. I saved them because I thought I might use it one day. I'm so smart. They might be slightly blackened, but you know, they
Hey,
still
as
work
long
as
they
candles.
Work, right? As long as they work.
Yes. How safe is it to stab? I have a slight problem.
Maybe.
Can you just eat the normal cake?
Yeah, how about do the cake thing with the normal cake and let's not start stabbing things. Kanna the clumsy.
No,
Please.
I just want you to
Kanna-
know that apparently, did you know when noodles are hard, it's hard to stab them? So now
Yeah.
the candles look like zigzags. Ish. They're like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Y'all wonder why I have constant anxiety whenever Kanna is doing anything.
Oh my god. But wait, actually, I
I
might
mean,
actually make it look good.
She is your dog daughter at this point. It's adopted child. You have no. Yeah.
I'm
Get
starting
fucked.
I'm starting to. I don't know. That might have been that was a questionable decision. Maybe I think I might have.
But Farrell, I care for you so much.
As she does everything in her power to take years off of my life.
No, you have to live till you're 2000. Remember 2000.
See, she has you in hostage for 2,000 years.
This is probably good enough. I'll just put 4 or 5 candles, you think?
That's. Oh, you're the type that does a lot of candles. I see. Oh.
Try to find a place that's not too loose so that the candle flies out, you know? Did you know that this is accurate work? Do you know that? Aha! That might not be the safest place.
I feel
Maybe
like
here.
I only use one
Oh my
candle every
God.
time.
Wait, I'll take a picture of what it looks like. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. Chat. Chat.
Get rid of the cake store name if it's there.
Oh no, oh, you're so smart. You're so freaking smart. You are so freaking smart.
The
You're so
fear
smart.
I have. The fear I have so
I'm
much.
stabbing a candle
That's
in,
like
in
a-
the cake ready.
That's literally almost like a triple duck situation.
And never leave me alone. Never leave me unattended, really.
But you stream unattended. Does that mean there's been shit going on when I'm not there?
No, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Chat,
Pharaoh?
tell our concerned
I'm just
buddy.
gonna have to move to Indonesia at this point. I'm just gonna have to like move to Indonesia and
Chat, has she been a bad
Chat,
dog?
I've been good. Chat, I've been so good. Chat.
I plead the fifth. Aga! Armpits. You know what? You're right. A lot of things happen when I'm not there. I mean, the
Can you
fact
believe
that
I've
she
only
started
been streaming
smelling
for a
armpits.
week? Can you believe I've only been streaming for a week?
And she's
she's
so
already-
close to. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
long gone.
yeah.
She's on the very niche and very strange side of the internet with the whole armpit thingy. Like, you lost me there.
I was not ready for the armpit thingy myself.
I mean, you
Okay.
instigated it, man.
I didn't
Okay.
instigate shit. Okay, I
On a
did not.
scale of 1
Uh-huh.
to dubious, am I gonna burn my PC down?
NFS. I'm not her mod. Not my problem.
We can fix that.
No,
NFS,
you know,
we can
it's-
fix
it's-
that.
You know,
We
it's
can
funny
totally
you say that.
fix that.
It's funny you say
You know,
that.
NFS, you might get fucked.
You know what's funny? I feel like NFS is not
You
the
know,
only one
it's-
who's always been like
It's
concerned.
funny. You all keep
Ah,
saying shit.
you
It's
have
funny,
to
you
get
all-
to work. Bye,
it's
NFS.
funny-
You're
it's
working
funny
now.
You all keep first it was dark and now it's NFS. Like, you know, you guys
Right,
should know better
right.
by
Sun
now.
was also towing the line, not gonna lie.
Sin-
They're
Sin-
all
Wow.
trying to
Sin
volunteer. They're
Sin is
also
on-
nice.
I don't know about that. Maybe
Is tissue
it's-
heat proof? Probably not.
Wait, who added all the stuff
got
in
us all.
7TV?
I'm not sure.
Got us.
I don't know.
Wait, Kanna, did you let Michi check your 7TV? Just ask. her.
No, Chat was the one who
Okay.
set up my 7TV.
Yep, she just let
Okay.
everybody. She just
Okay,
let everybody
okay.
go in there and do their thing. It's been pretty amazing. The results.
Honestly, that's good.
Pretty
That's good.
outstanding.
As long as it's not just Michi, because you wouldn't be able to read.
Oh god, if Michi got in there, yeah.
Okay, I got a heat-proof cork board thing to put the lighter. I'm gonna light it up, take a picture, post it on. Okay, post it, and then blow it out. Do you think I can
Okay,
do
we
that
do need
in
the
a short
huzzah
amount of
emote.
time?
Someone put it in.
What is
Huzzah
the
is
huzzah
good.
emote?
Yeah, we do need those.
Okay.
Wait, it's the one I usually send eventually. Hold on, I'll put it in the group chat. It's that thing.
Is it top
We do need
left?
huzzah.
Huzzah.
Yeah, we do need Huzzah. Huzzah is important.
It's
Is
with
it
the guy.
one in the orange shirt?
What?
No.
Is it?
It's the one with the one that looks like an egg.
The one that looks like an egg. You put it in where?
In the Discord chat.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's what it looks like.
Added. Tell me if it's there or not.
There it is. Yep. It's there.
There you go. That's terrible.
There it is.
Why did I do that? Okay.
Yay!
Okay,
We have
okay.
Huzzah!
We need Wildcat too. Somebody get in there and put Wildcat in.
Wide cat.
Yes.
How do you type
XDDD.
it? XDDD.
Oh, XDD. Oh, the XDDD one. Yeah.
We need XDDD.
We need XDDD.
How many D's?
It's
There we
3.
that one. Yeah, wait, there's an
Yeah, there it
XDD.
is. Yeah,
Tada.
Yeah.
Cat did all the heavy
XDDD.
lifting. Not gonna lie.
XDDD. Yep, there we go. Beautiful.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna.
just you really did set anyone to like
Yes, she said it so anyone can.
how to.
No,
That is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Fine.
It's very
I'm not
dangerous.
that dumb yet.
We'll work on it after her birthday.
Okay. Oh, my grandma's
It's fine for
texting me.
now.
Does she miss me? Is she wishing me happy birthday? Okay. Is the fire on? Yes, fire on. Okay. Okay. How are you doing this? Should I start with the cake or this one first? This one first. This one might take the longest. There's so many. I can't see the fire. I see the fire. Okay. Okay.
Oh god, she's playing with fire and she can't see it.
Okay.
This is
It's probably fine. Okay, got them. They're all on. Now, I need to take picture. You're gonna see the most... You're gonna see my cables. Don't judge me.
they're not bad. I don't know why she thinks her desk is bad. It's not bad.
My desk is terrible. Oh, it's hot. Did you know that this thing is like 10 centimeters away from my mic? It is hot.
you might
I'm,
fire is hot, Kanna, yes.
You know, maybe next time I should get her like the fake candles, the one that basically
I
has
think-
like a switch on.
I think next time, Ray, what you need to do is be there to manage the
Bro,
cake
I
operation.
literally asked her like, "What time are you streaming?" And she's like, "When I wake up." I'm like, "Well, fuck me then." Like, how am I supposed to know? I had a meeting this morning. I'm like, okay, she's not on, and then she's on like, "Oh well, fuck me, man." Mid meeting. Pharaoh,
Okay.
distract her, stall her.
Okay, I didn't get a picture of all the fires. But if I try to get another picture, I'm afraid it will start burning things. So,
Yeah, don't
are
burn
you
things.
ready
One
to
picture is
see?
fine.
Are
Did
you
you
ready
blow?
to
Did you blow the
feast?
candles?
Are you ready to feast your eyes upon majesty?
Kanna,
Wait, is this picture? Are you ready to see my cake? Ready? Ready? Whoop, whoop. It's gonna cover chat a little bit, but that's okay.
blow out the
That's
candle so there's not
okay.
open flame. No, Kanna.
Ready?
Kanna, did you at least blow the candles
candle.
before you're showing?
3, 2,
Kanna.
Not even
1.
listening to us at this point.
Kanna,
Ta-da!
we are just dead.
But she's not listening at all.
Happy
Not listening at all.
birthday to
What the
me.
fuck? Stop!
Happy-
Hold on! Stop! Get rid of the fucking stabby cake! That's dangerous! That's a fire hazard! What the fuck?
Are you okay?
Kanna. What are you?
Tio
Kanna, please.
Pilinya, Tio.
Kanna.
Ta-da!
That's why she said it could get blown away because dead ass she put it like it's on its last legs. That's
Oh my god, Kanna, please put out the fire. Kanna, please put out
It's
the fire.
out. You have such little
Kanna,
trust
please.
in me. It's out. Don't worry about it. It's out. I'm alive. Did you see how? Did you see how
Yes.
pretty the cake Ray gave me is?
It's very pretty. Good job, Ray.
Ali! Ali! Is that
job.
our Oshi? Is that our Ali? Are you here? Did you see my cake? No, he's not here. It's all a dream. I don't know. She followed me. Anyway, she followed me a moment. Did you not follow me?
I do not see. Oh, there she is. There's Ollie. Hold on.
Look at that. She's beautiful. There's a thing called
Just
VIP,
VIP
right?
her. Hold on.
Yeah,
I can't add it. I can't add it though.
I can. Hold on. I can.
Aha! You do have to do extra work.
I have more. I can add
Zane,
on.
thank you for the gifted sub. Did you see that, Ali? You can use the rage tag. Ali, did you see? There's an emote with your face on it. Ali. Okay. Anyway, look at my cake. Should I pour the oil on top of the noodles, you think?
No, stop! Just
why
put
would
back
you
the
do
noodles in the
that?
package and cook it later.
Ah.
Do that.
Lurking failed. We'll get her next time.
Lee, I'm
Okay.
scared. She stabbed a fucking.
But I'm so sad that I didn't get the right side of the candle. Did you see? There's one candle that I didn't get the picture of the fire from. What if I just light it again for a pic and then blow it out real quick?
No.
Put the seasoning and eat it as is.
This is why I have braids
Listen.
in my beard. This is
Yeah.
why
I don't
have
want you
hairs
to.
in my
I don't
beard.
want you to like suddenly like. Oh yeah, I got a burn the other day as you go out with your family. I'm just like, you know how that happens, like most of the times, and I'm like, what happened to your head? Oh, this? I accidentally touched hot pans. Did you know pans get hot when they touch fire? I'm like,
Hey,
this has
I
to
only
be
got
rage bait.
burned like a few times. And
you!
I'm
Yeah.
did
So,
you know?
that's the new thing that haunts me, Ray.
This is rage bait.
Is Pharaoh? Did you know it's in my dreams when I sleep at night? I have nightmares. I hear.
Okay.
Pharaoh,
Yeah, if
did
she
you
starts saying,
know?
"Did you
And
know?"
it's-
you're
it's-
fucked.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro.
I'm gonna get a
I always
picture
go.
of the cake.
If they say, "Did you know?" I'm like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And then she's like, that I did this and then this and that. Did you know? And I'm like, no. I'm putting that out of my ears right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I want to
usually
take
the
a picture of the
precursor.
cake,
to
but
my
there's
blood pressure
Cheetos
going
that
up.
Michi gave me at the back, so ignore the Cheetos.
Girl, how long have you had those Cheetos? Those Cheetos
Since
were
Michi
there
got them to me.
the last
gave
time
them to
you
me.
took
Isn't
a
that the-
picture.
Isn't that Cheetos the one from like last year when we met up?
No. She got them for me recently.
Okay.
Define
Okay. I was
recently, 'cause they've
concerned.
been
I
there
was
for at least a
concerned.
week.
Yeah, but it's unopened. I'm sure there's an
Oh,
expiration
okay.
date.
If it's unopened, it's
Okay.
fine.
We're
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah. Okay. I took a picture of the cake, but because I was too excited, I touched the name. So, it may be smudged. But I know it says Kanna in my heart. So that's okay. Wow, my cables are all over the place. This is disturbing me. My inner peace.
What is
Ta-da! Look at the pretty cake and ignore the Cheetos in the back. Just crop that away. Nobody
That's a
sees the
very
Cheetos.
nice
It's not
cake.
even there. It's not
Yeah.
even there. Thank you for the cake.
Happy
Thank you for
birthday.
the cake. Did you see my cake? It looks like my name was bleeped out. Not gonna lie. Looks
Happy
like
birthday,
my name was... I just poked
Happy
it with my
birthday.
finger. Did you know that it's made of chocolate? And then I licked it. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
It's delicious. Happy birthday. My name is censored in my own chat. Did you know?
This dog.
EB. I assume the ribbon is not edible.
I don't think it is.
Wow. My name is just censored everywhere. Do I even exist? Chat, do I even exist?
It's your birthday, so you
Cut it.
exist.
I only have chopsticks. Can I cut it with chops? No, wait, it gave me a thing. They
You're
gave
so
me
dumb. I
a-
was about to ask. They
not-
literally gave you a a plastic knife that had like the matchstick inside the plastic knife, so you can do
You're
that.
so smart. Does that mean I
do
could
you
light
not
it up
have
with the
forks?
match? I've never done it in my life. It's actually terrifying.
Do you not have forks? Are forks not a thing in your world, Kanna? Do you not possess a singular fork?
A fork with just one thorn thingamajig? No. I have one with
No,
four
I mean,
That's,
like,
thorns.
that's not
just
a
a
fork
fork.
at that end.
No,
That's
just
a
fork.
chopstick.
That's a fuck. No, I'm not. Didn't ask if you had a pho. I asked if you had a fork. Okay. Do you have a fork? Here she goes. There's the
This
rage
has
bait,
to be
chat.
rage bait.
This
This has to be
That's
rage
what
bait.
it is. She's. It's her birthday. I can't even complain because it's her birthday. I have to. let
It's
her
my
rage bait me.
birthday. Did you know it's my birthday? Yippee. Okay, I'm gonna cut the cake.
You know,
What if I
Pharaoh,
take a
I'm gonna be
picture
real
every
honest
inch?
with you. When
Yeah.
she's speaking in English, she's twice as dangerous as speaking in Indonesian.
I believe that. I
Why?
believe that. I do believe that. Honestly,
Why though?
I just
Why though?
believe it. I
Because
don't think-
Indonesian usually has more softer words, so when you speak in Indonesian on your YouTube days, you're so much more softer. But now with the influence of Michi and you using full ass English on Twitch, I fear.
Did you know that Michi said I'm so calm
Oh
and
my
soft and warm? That I'm so calm. Did you know? That she said,
my blood pressure begs to differ.
Michi says, Kanna,
Yeah.
you're too soft. You can't be like this. That's what she said.
In a sense, it is true. She is very soft. Like, I don't think girl gets angry and she goes meow meow. None of the girls go meow meow.
Meow meow. Okay. I'll take a picture for every inch. What's an inch? Every centimeter that the knife goes past, so that it will feel like stop motion. Thoughts?
You know,
Right?
you could just
Isn't
take
that
a video,
amazing?
right?
You could
Oh my
just
god,
take a
you're so
video.
smart. I genuinely.
Oh god.
Why am I here? Like, why am I here? Like, literally, I feel like if I talk to Kanna,
No, you-
instead
you
of
have
me
to
going,
stay. No, you have to stay. You don't get to leave. You have to stay.
what the fuck?
You don't
No,
get to
Pharaoh,
go.
like, dead ass, if I'm on my own stream, I feel like I get to be dumb, but like, when I'm with Kanna, it's like, I have to be like, I can't be dumb. I literally have to tone down and literally just be monotone because I
Wait,
think
wait.
it's not
Hey,
good.
don't you remember you were born in the dumb though?
That's true. So what mode am I in right now? Because I'm
I
like
don't
at a slight disappointment and concern. I'm like, what am I dealing with right now?
You're in the.
Ooh, I
You're-
should
you're
light it
in
back on
the
fire and take a
babysitter.
video. You're so smart. Holy crap. I
Oh,
should
she's
have
gonna
thought
play
of
with
this.
fire again. Oh.
So are you gonna
Okay.
use you're gonna learn how to use the match? All you have to do is use the match, and if it gets fire and hot, just blow it.
That sounds terrifying. I'll use the lighter. I'll use
How
the lighter.
is she not?
Wow, the free meeting has ended. Did you guys know that Zoom has limited time if you're on free meetings? they just kicked us out. So am I officially unsupervised? Am I officially unsupervised? That's so cool. Okay, back to the fire. I could put a tripod instead of using one hand to light it up and one hand to record. No, you're totally still supervised. The chat wouldn't tell on me. Right, chat. New calling in the... Do you think Discord will ever get fixed? Do you think Discord will ever get fixed? It's a wonder, really. Bum ba da bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. Hello.
Shoot.
Hello. Yeah.
They're so
apparently-
concerned they came back.
Apparently, Zoom puts limits on free meetings. Who would have guessed?
Okay, I'm putting a tripod because safety first, probably. How do you put on the
Probably.
tripod? Is this
Probably,
the
she
right way?
says.
I don't know if I'm tightening or loosening it. It loosened it, it all came off. Holy crap. Other way.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I was holding it backwards. So I was doing it the other way.
No. No.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
I'll only light up the cake, I promise. Not the other one. The tiramisu. Don't worry.
The tiramisu should be fine. The tiramisu should be fine.
It only has one candle.
That's right. That's right. Much more reasonable to yeah.
I might have to hug the tripod with my legs. Did you know that the tripod cannot stand up because my phone is so heavy? Boop boop boop. Nyaha. Yeah, good enough. Okay. Did you know it's been recording? I didn't know. Do I take the ribbon off before or after cutting? Thoughts? Okay. A little late for safety 17th maybe. Hey, I'll have you know, I safe. Yes. Before. Okay, before. Did you hear what my new moderator NFS said? Before. I should listen. Oh. Oh.
NFSC, you shouldn't have said anything, buddy. You could have still been safe as just a viewer, but nah, you had to say some shit. Congratulations, there's your sword.
Yippee!
I can't
feel
save
like
you,
she
man.
only listens when it benefits her. No la, surely not. Surely not. Oh, this is a good angle. Okay. I will even show you my lighter. What I am using to light it. Ish. Okay. This is probably safe, is it not?
Are you holding the lighter? Do you have gloves for your hands, La?
You're so smart. Did you know you're so smart? I should get gloves.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
think. You know what? I never
know,
thought I would encounter somebody
Meow,
that
meow.
required more management than Michi.
No! That is not true.
I never thought that I would encounter some like I feel like all of the other like literally like every other VTuber that I've ever like done like, you know, like helped with like management things and other things and stuff like that. Like I feel like all of them were just leading up to this point in my life where I would face the final boss of
What
VTubers.
are you saying?
Like it's like my entire time in the VTubing space has been like Dark Souls, and I've fought progressively more difficult bosses, and it was all just to get me ready for, you know, Kanna,
I cannot be that
destroyer
bad.
of blood pressures.
Actually, I cannot be that bad.
Kanna, baiting of rage.
I cannot be that bad, probably.
So this is what I spent my life trading for. This moment. This battle.
What if I just zoom in real close? What if I just... Okay, thoughts. Did you know that I can't press button when I'm wearing glove? Ta-da!
I might lose my mind because I've heard like did you know
really-
at least like 6 or 7 times in the span of like how many minutes we just talking.
You really only need one glove, Kanna. You only need one glove
Oh,
to hold the
you're
lighter.
so smart. I put
The
it
other
on
glove to
both.
hold the fan. Kanna, you only need the one. The one that's
Alright.
holding the ladder.
Okay. Actually, my fingers might not even show. Ta-da! Fire! Now put lighter down on hopefully a safe surface. Correct.
So when
And
we hear the
then
smoke detector go off in a moment.
I forgot to put on the smoke detector. Okay. Happy birthday to me. I'm cutting the cake. Did you know there's plastic around the cake?
Oh my fucking god.
You know-
Yeah, that's why they can tie the ribbon.
That's
Dodo.
so smart.
What the-
Okay. I'm cutting
That's-
it inside the plastic. Dangerously close to the fire. But I'm still kind of okay. Yippee!
I'm so done. I'm so done.
Wait, you can see the
Actually, so
video. I'm
done.
trying to turn it off. Okay,
I'm
let me
actually
send
so
it to
done.
myself.
Is this what anxiety feels like? Is that what I'm experiencing right now? You know, I've never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been surrounded by people who've told me for years about this thing called anxiety, and I never
Yeah.
think I don't think I've ever experienced it. But suddenly,
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
I feel happy Kanna day.
Me. Happy Kanna Day. The fire and knife shouldn't come. Oh right, cause you blow it first. You're so smart. I forgot to blow it.
Here's the thing. What I realize is that I may be dumb, but survival-wise, I'm not though. I feel like it's the opposite. with
Happy
Kanna.
birthday, Kanna. Thank you.
Her survival instincts are.
You mean I'm good at everything else but surviving?
Yes.
That might be true. Here, I'll show the video. Beep boop.
That's why I'm scared.
Yeah, I
Oh.
can't wait. This video is gonna tell me some things. This video is gonna be very
It's
educational.
not. It's a 1-minute video. What could it possibly tell you?
This video is gonna be very educational. I feel like.
Media source. Okay. Browse. Download. Wait,
Oh.
where is the button? What if it doesn't give you a heart attack? Did you ever think about that? Maybe, just maybe. It's okay.
Mm.
Why do you sound like you were doubting me? Hello? Silly question. Can't, huh? Input format. What the freak is that? What if I sent it to the group chat?
Okay.
Remove.
You could do that. You could send it to the group chat. That should be safe.
Anna, thank you so much for the sub. Did you know it's my birthday? Oh, I
Happy
can screen
birthday,
capture.
Kanna.
I can screen capture me playing the video. Am I smart? I might be a genius. Ish. Beep beep. Beep boop. Okay.
Oh, I guess Farrell, your new task of the year for 2026 is to do dog sitting. Huh. Oh my
New
god.
task.
That
Keep the
that
dog
is
alive.
your funnily alive. It's like your birthday present. You got a dog daughter. Oh, I'm gonna keep laughing at this every year. Thanks, Pharaoh.
Beep boop.
It's fine. This is fine. This is totally fine. I don't know what you mean. This is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine.
That's what I sound like.
This is entirely fine. Absolutely fine.
Forward to this chat here. Mostly because I think it's the format. I can't show it. I'm trying to figure out how do you play a MOV file on a freaking OBS. There you go. Here. I can take screenshots. See, it is stop motion, I tell you.
Just what you do is so your video in the group chat, full screen it and then just screen capture that. Just make sure to turn the screen capture off before you shrink it back down to a smaller size. But if you just full screen the video of the cake, all it's going to show is the cake video.
Me trying to absorb words. Okay. Let's see.
So just screen cap.
Oh,
on
you're
OBS.
so smart.
There
Did
you
you know?
Yep. And that way, just like I say, just remember, make sure you turned off the screen
Okay.
cap before you
How
minimize.
much do you
so
trust
don't
me?
accidentally show something. I believe in you. I'm going to choose
Did
to
you
believe in
hear
you.
that, chat?
I am going to choose to believe in you. I think you can handle this.
Thank you. Okay, then. It's just a minute video. It's just me lighting things up. Ready?
We're taking a new approach, chat. I believe in you, Kanna. You can do the thing.
I can probably not.
Oh, you're so
Wait a minute.
I put it on both.
I forgot.
Your sources are
boop.
are doing funny things.
Is that what it? I'm not wearing glasses. Honestly,
Oh
I
no,
should be
the
wearing-
source, the take down the source with this single image and then do it again. You were right, but the image source was on top of the video source. So just
Is this
shut off
correct
the-
now?
Shut off the.
Let me
Don't
play.
resize it. Just turn it off.
Ta-da! Happy birthday
There it is, perfect.
to me. Happy birthday to me.
She did it, chat. She did it, chat.
I
See?
did it.
Just gotta believe in her. She can do it. She can do the thing.
Ta-da! My God, I did it.
Good job.
I did
Oh
it.
my
I lit
God.
fire. I did the thing. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. I think that's when I noticed there's plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know you can't cut through? I was wondering why it was so clean at the end. And then I just decided, well, the plastic's on the side. So might as well just kind of, well, stab it a tiny bit.
Oh,
Ta-da!
your glove got so close to the fire.
I know,
Oh,
I
your glove got-
realized way
your glove
too
got so
late.
close.
I
glove
know,
got so
right?
close to the
I
fire.
know, right? I was so
Oh.
shocked too. That's why it was hot.
That's why it was hot.
Yeah!
That's why it was hot.
That's why happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Ooh.
But I'm safe and I wore gloves
You
for
are safe.
safety.
And you did wear gloves for safety. Good job. You didn't set yourself on fire, and that's what matters.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God.
That's what matters.
Huh. Did you know that I left the candle on and now it's still, like, it's almost all gone? Excuse me, I should blow that.
You should.
It was like almost touching the cake. It's safe. Yippee, can I eat the cake now?
Yes, you should definitely eat the cake now. 100% eat the cake now. Do you
There's
need
so
to
much wax
leave
on it.
or do something today? Because I know I think you said something about having things to do today.
I
Like you had to do
did.
things yesterday.
I did. I have
You still
15
have-
minutes to eat cake.
15 or 50?
12:30. I will have to go and shower. Boop boop.
Okay.
Right for
So
no
she
park.
has-
Particularly
I don't even have Venmo!
reason. Oh my gosh.
God,
gonna-
I don't even have Venmo. It's so sad.
I'm just gonna
It-
eat
it-
it with
but
the
it-
knife. Ow.
There you go. That's
The
fine.
knife isn't sharp, right?
No.
No, it looked like it was
Not
plastic.
really.
It
It doesn't have to
plastic.
be. It doesn't have to be sharp to cut through
Oh my
tiramisu.
gosh,
so.
it's so yummy. Yippee. Ow.
The problem with
It's
that
so
being
good.
Sin is that unless Ray's there to operate the fire extinguisher probably won't do much good. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm gonna drip
I mean-
the coffee. Did you know it has a coffee dripper that's so cool?
Yeah.
Oh
Three
my
coffee drippers.
gosh, it's so good. Thank you so much, Ray. I swear. You're so sweet. Thank you for keeping me
You're
alive.
welcome.
Pharaoh, Ray, and everyone. Happy birthday to me! Oh.
Have you drank water? The water bottle is in front of your cake, so you should sip some.
Yum, 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 yum. Hey, Mr. Fancy Pants, I will hydrate. Okay. Okay, it's so good! I'm so happy!
I'm so
Thank
glad
you,
that
God.
Indomie
Yeah.
cake was not a thing. Oh. God.
I could have completed it.
No, it's gonna have the same effect as your me Bangladesh situation, and I don't think you want that again.
But Indomie Tabe is just so good though.
There was a time where she
Fresh.
actually did a cooking stream last year, where she cooked Indomie Bangladesh, which is basically literally like spices in her workroom, and I was so worried. So I came there, and literally you could smell the smell of the spices from like a mile away, and I'm like, this has to be like a smell hazard. I go into her room where she's streaming, and then literally the stove was right beside her like PC and mic, and
And
I'm
I was
like,
on
that
top of
is-
my PC.
it's bad. That's why I don't want that to happen.
I don't have furniture.
Oh.
I didn't have
I'm
furniture.
gonna have to reach out to the rest of the girlies and make sure that there is always somebody to mind Kanna if cooking is involved.
Like, if she's cooking normally, that's okay. But when she cooks for stream, that's where I draw the
Yeah, I
line.
don't know what happens. I feel like I get a debuff when I'm cooking on stream.
That's
Guys, I think Sen is losing it a little bit.
Sin, you were right. I am gonna just get stuck in Indonesia. I'm gonna go there for a visit, airport visit, and I'm
Oh,
just never going to be
You
able to
think
leave.
you're here for a visit? Your retirement
Yeah,
plan
no.
is in Indonesia, man.
Yeah,
You're
that's kind
fucked.
of what I'm. That's kind of what I'm
Michi
starting
Kanna
to
cooking,
realize.
she
it
would be so
appear
crushed. Oh
that-
my god, can you imagine? I should tell Michi that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh,
All right, guys.
no.
Real talk, guys. This means Kanna's next goal is to get a 3D so you can see the shenanigans happens.
There we go.
You know what? It's insane.
Yeah.
Ray thinks I'm even crazier if you can see if you can track my body. Can you
I bet.
imagine?
I
She
bet.
says I do
Yeah,
more
no, I could see
shenanigans.
that. I could see
She's
that,
like
honestly.
she's like a rat or a squirrel that if you find out they stole something, they give you this face and then runs away.
That's right.
She's literally
I
she's
believe
literally
that.
Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Like, that's the
I believe
vibe.
that. Yeah, I
What do
believe
you
that.
mean? Oh,
How much would those cost again? It depends on
lot.
Kanna if she wants like Michi level 3D or like some sort of 3D,
Bruh.
if that makes sense.
that's like in like tens of thousands. That's insane. Probably
That's why you
10,000 or something.
You could probably do like a how do you say it? A cheaper build if that's what you want, and then you could be like an upgrade model, you know, that because it is nice to have 3D. You get to be more expressive.
You are making Sin deeple Indonesian at you right now. I want you to be aware. Sin does not speak Indonesian. You have caused him to have so much of a meltdown that he
my
has,
god.
he has gone out of his way to deeple the Indonesian.
Hold on,
at you.
I'll say the words to fully embody what Sen is saying. Cewek, lu tuh not qualified buat handle apapun selain safety scissors. That's literally the vibe.
Jaxa. It was
It's like cewek. Lu tuh gitu.
That's amazing. That is absolutely incredible that you.
That's
you,
crazy.
You have damaged.
There's so much sass in that
You-
sentence that I
you
did
have-
not believe.
You have damaged his calm so much that he went to a fucking level. This is Sin. This is why I'm not giving you a sword. This is why, because you're already crashing out. I'm not putting that. I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that voodoo on you, but Ricky Bobby, I'm not gonna
What
put
do
that voodoo on
you
you.
mean? I promote serotonin.
The Jaxel English, hey, it's necessary.
Give me this.
Give me this. Going skydiving is crazy. Going skydiving is fucking crazy.
And that's so
Oh.
funny though. Oh my god, Sen. You're so funny. You're so funny. You're so funny. Congrats.
That's oh my god, Sin. I'm sorry. She did it. She did it, man. You're fucked. She did it. Oh my god. That is fucking purest comedy.
Congratulations! You just adopted a VTuber! Woo!
Oh.
Brother, I tried to warn you, man.
Oh.
You didn't listen. I want to tell you now, buddy.
Oh. Oh. Oh, the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies tag is absolutely insane.
It is, that will definitely be a conversation had elsewhere.
You know, congratulations, Kanna. You've literally like traumatized people to be your mods. It's kind of crazy on the birthday.
It's not what I set out to do.
I mean, it doesn't have to be what you set out to do. Literally, you're like, oh, see, I'm not doing much for my birthday, and then literally you have Iron Crow going, "This is one of the craziest birthdays I've seen."
I'm pretty sure that is not correct.
She's just
So,
traumatizing old men. That's all.
You know, imagine if she actually like had like, say she planned out this birthday thingy from like last year. How crazier would that go? Because she's already crazy and like, I'm not doing much. I'm just reading things and eating cake. And we've done all the emotional damage for the last 2 hours.
Honestly, I think in Kanna's case, it's the spontaneity is what is so. I think if she planned it, it would be less.
Perhaps
madness. I think with Kanna, it's the spontaneity. She's not trying to kill us all. She just has a natural.
Oh, she just naturally is a killer. Got you.
Yeah.
She is out for murder. I see.
Yeah,
Well, that's kind of fucked. I'm gonna close my doors now.
There's no thoughts behind those eyes. You've known me for very few days. How would you know that that's the truth?
I've been aware of you for years, and the only thoughts behind those eyes involve murder.
Oh god,
that is the ice cold stare of a serial killer, chat.
Meow.
that is the it's just Kanna has been on her Dexter arc for years.
My god, Dexter. I do like watching those, what are they called? The crime solving thingamaboobies? Like CSI. I didn't watch Dexter though. I watched like one episode and thought that guy was unhinged.
Yes.
I'm totally on the side of law. I'm on the side of law. I'm neutral good. Ray, you need to corroborate. Corroborate that I am indeed neutral good.
Neutral good? You're chaotic evil.
No! I took the test in front of you, you dodo head.
Yeah, but when you take the test again, it changes left and right. Like me, I stayed the same. So you're basically trying to chameleon your way out of chaotic evil. Like, no. You have a chaotic side to you. You're no way neutral. We've confirmed this with your other friends where you're like, oh my god, guys, did you know I'm neutral good? And they fucking laughed at you the way I did. I'm like, you? Neutral good? It's a fucking lie. That test is a scam. You have chaos in it. I don't know if you're chaotic good or evil. You could be both. Probably more chaotic good, but still.
Did you see how Dark said 2 days and did you know already terrifies me?
See? Listen, guys. Y'all are here like for 2 days, 1 week. I have to see the did you know for like a while. I've gotten to the point where I'm scared and I have to try to numb myself. That's why anytime I come on stream or I'm talking with her and you guys listen, I would have the most deadest voice. I'm like, yes, what else? Okay.
But she does.
Right.
But it makes me so sad though when she looks at me with like the hope and light gone from her eyes and her voice. It makes me so sad because I'm like, where's my bestie? Where's your whimsy? What if we be whimsy together? It'll be so much fun.
You know, months back.
Fucking NFS sent me the
Amazing.
Meow meow.
Pharaoh, you gotta.
Wow.
That
Did
is
you
so
see?
good.
Did you see?
That is so good.
Okay, you need to play it on stream. You have to play
Go
on
full
stream.
screen again.
is-
Full screen,
that
the
is
volume's a
amazing.
little bit loud, but it's important.
I need to add volume. Dang. Okay. A moment. Uno moment. What if it's loud? Beep boop.
It is pretty loud, but the fact that NFS got that up so fucking quick is
That's
crazy.
amazing.
I don't know what you are all speaking of. Me.
That's me, for
Pet
real.
the
That's
mod.
me.
Don't forget to pet the mod.
So while she's setting this up, a few months back,
Uh-huh.
Ray DM'd me
Meow, meow.
ostensibly about helping her set up her Discord server and stuff like
Meow,
that.
meow.
But I look back at some of our early conversations, and I feel like I was set up.
What
I
the
feel
fuck do you mean, man?
I feel like Ray was like, you know what? If he can tank Michi, he can definitely tank Kanna. And
What?
then yeah,
How?
Ray, I'm on to you.
You know, Pharaoh.
Mm.
I appreciate that you think so highly of me, but I had no thoughts it would lead this way.
Don't
So I have to.
forget. She was born in the dump. She just
You're
needs
right,
to
I'm sorry.
embrace the dump. You gave her
Like
too much credit.
I applaud that you have such high hopes of me being that scheming, but I had no thoughts when I was talking to you guys.
She's really not. It's to
the
break it to
natural
you.
progression.
Play the video.
I don't know if the sound will come through, so let me know. It's not loud. I hear nothing. Am I deaf? I'm deaf.
I hear it. It literally is the pain. It's the fandom pain she's
That
gonna
is-
leave us with.
That is the
Did you know?
No.
that's, did you know? That's so good. Oh, that is
Oh my
so
god, can I tell you
good.
something funny? Can I tell you something funny?
Yes. tell us
Michi
something
told
funny.
me, I think I forgot. She told me a while ago. She was just like, hey Kanna, you should probably come up with a catchphrase or something. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. What if?
I think we already know what your catchphrase is.
What?
Girl, you have so many
if?
catchphrases.
I do. I couldn't think of one.
Bro, you're the one who started making everyone going, oh my god, that was you.
You say that like I am a disease, an infectious disease, making people say things that they don't want to say. I
I
probably
mean,
am.
both
say
both
you're,
you and Michi do that.
No, I say you're a source of trauma. I don't say you're a disease. Those are two different things.
That is crazy way to explain.
God.
Source of trauma is fucking crazy.
Oh no, no,
Paul.
you know what?
Holy shit.
Cause like I remember every time I talk to Michi, she's just like, you know what? You're so calm and soft and like quiet. Like you probably you mesh well so much with like Muna, cause you guys are both kind of like the calm, quiet, soft type. We're like, you sure, girl? Okay.
Nope, there you go. There you go. He's back to the Indonesian again. See what you've done?
Oh my
have broken
Long
god.
time no see, Kanna. Happy birthday. I hope no one is bullying you on your special day. Thank you,
No.
Akane. No one's
No,
bullying
no,
you.
no, no, no,
No
no.
one's bullying
Akane,
Happy birthday.
she's bullying us.
Yeah, no. Let's be
Akane,
clear.
I know
Did you-
you're a sweet person, but at this point, everyone is being held at gunpoint because she's basically about to like throw off a bomb. It's like, I have a bomb on my body that won't hurt me, but hurt you guys. And we're just like, do not touch the bomb. But what if?
You make me sound like I'm chaotic. Oh.
You are! Who are you trying to fool?
No what? I'm just stating the truth. The truth.
The truth that you are a chaotic evil?
No, I swear. I'm a model student. Did you know I got A pluses?
She could be chaotic neutral. She could be chaotic neutral.
Could
I'll
be.
take the
Also,
test on stream.
Also-
I'll take the I swear to God.
Also, Akane, I know you're really trying to be like, this is her day. Yeah, we also started that way until we realized 2 hours in how traumatized
This is
we are.
my happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Yes.
Look at the clock. Look at the clock. You have to get ready for doing things today.
The shower.
I
and
got a
dress.
shower.
Yes, you got to shower and put on proper clothing so you can go out and do birthday things. I'm assuming with your family. No wangy. No wangy.
Kana, I'm so sorry for you. Thank you, Akane. I appreciate
He doesn't
you.
get it. He doesn't
Thank you
get it.
so
he was not here
much.
from the beginning. He doesn't know our
I'm pretty
pain.
sure Akane was saying sorry to us. Actually, I think Kanna. I don't think you.
Is it us? If it's us, then it's good. But if it's Takara, then you haven't been here for the last 2
I
hours, man.
choose to believe what I believe. Thank you so much for being sorry for.
Oh my god, Senro is literally in Indonesian mode. Is fucking
He
crazy.
lost his mind.
Oh my
IQ
God,
lo
are you
tinggi
okay?
tapi common sense lo level 2 pi, which is fucking crazy to say. Holy fucking
Zane,
shit.
thank you so much for the gifted sub.
Do you know what it means, Pharaoh? Do you know what it means, Pharaoh?
What does it mean?
Your IQ is high, but your common sense is as a level of a squirrel.
That's
Meow, meow.
accurate. Actually. Accurate, in fact.
It's okay. I'm actually safer when I'm off stream, probably. I'm not that
Probably.
dumb.
I think
I-
Austin
I-
probably maybe.
Off stream, she's more salvageable than on stream.
Okay. Salvageable.
However,
Where do you decide to use?
the water situation, however, is I think worse offline than online, because online there's
agree with
always
that.
you guys to remind her. Offline she'd be like,
Salvageable.
I don't know how. Why am I so dead? I'm like, have I drank?
Salvageable.
is-
That's insane. Salvageable. I didn't even know you knew that word. Holy crap.
That's a game word though.
Okay.
It's diabolical. Salvageable is
No, here's the thing. I would love to say savable, but I don't even know how to save you on that end. So I'm like, I can't do this, man. I can't put hopes on you. I can't. It's not
And
savable
a
for me.
gerbil water bottle. That's worse than the drink.
Wait, that's so funny. You could put it near your mic, so anytime you need a sip, it's
You're
right
so
beside your mic.
stupid. You're so
I mean,
stupid.
technically,
That's
she's
so
already
stupid.
got
This is-
like the,
No,
the
no.
human
This-
version, right? Because she got the water pump. She just needs the gallon to put the
Alright,
pump in. That's
I should
effectively
unbox that.
a human gerbil water,
Wait,
gerbil water bottle.
Is she redeemable? Redeemable, yes, but it depends if she wants to be redeemed or not. Honestly, this is going a very deep. It's going very deep.
We
from
don't have
redeemable.
time. Kanna, go get ready for your thing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
you missed your entire class yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Go.
I got like the last 6 minutes.
Okay, the last 6. Go get ready for birthday things. You're going out with your family, aren't you?
Yeah.
Aren't you?
But I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, but your family is going to be sad if you don't do birthday things.
Mm-hmm.
That's my job. I am the voice of reason. That is
I mean,
my
you could
entire-
have a extra stream on another day if you'd like.
Yeah, because I want to read the birthday messages.
You could do go do what you need to do, then come back and do a stream this evening.
It'll last until nighttime, I swear. Okay. If I do the birthday message reading another day, will you guys come and accompany me? I promise no more setting things on fire.
Yes.
The bare minimum. Okay.
Yes.
I won't set things on fire.
And maybe the
Right.
next stream Discord won't be broken and we won't have to try to
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bar is in hell.
You absolutely damaged his mental. That is impressive.
Are you okay? Do you want some cake? You want some cake?
I'm gonna go
Do you
play
want-
violent video games with Sin after stream, and I'll help his mental. It'll be fine. I know how to fix him.
You
I have
know how
lunch.
to fix it.
Yeah, I have lunch with my parents, so it should be fine. Huh? Recovery of like them,
No.
this girl.
We only have 4 more minutes before this Teams meeting ends, so
That is
Oh.
true.
free Teams is kind of weak. So go take
Man.
a shower and get ready to go do your things. Say goodbye to chat.
Chat. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. I promise. Now that I'm older, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna grow brain cells and common sense. I should have
Before or
made a
after you
wish.
kill me?
Before.
Oh, okay, good stuff. All right, awesome.
Thank you for stream birthday, girl. I hope you have fun with your family. Enjoy the rest. Hi! I started out my birthday so happily. Of course I will. Thank you guys so much. You made my day even more special. I'm so happy. So happy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who subbed, who gave gifted subs, who gave me bits as well. That's crazy. And for the tractor as well. I don't know if Gary Mon is still here, but thank you. Thank you so much. Beep, 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 beep. I don't know what time it is where you are. I hope you have a good rest of your day, or rest, or any like violent game therapy. Have a freaking blast! Me. Can I have pat pat? Can I have pat pat first? Can I have pat pat first? Can I have pat pats on my birthday?
Give her pat pats. Give her pat pats.
Okay, wait.
Is she
wait
stalling? Yeah, low
Yeah,
key.
she's stalling, Loki. Kanna, get.
I would never.
Get.
I would never.
Kanna, stop stalling and get ready for.
Can I have
for
pat
your
pat?
day. You've been getting pat pat. Everybody is giving you pat pat.
Nibi! Thank you so much.
Okay.
Beep, 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 beep. I don't know if anyone is online for me to raid.
Do you have anyone new or like?
Let's see.
Let me look.
Let's see.
It depends.
The shower is waiting. How did you know? I don't know
Depends who you
anyone.
feel
Boop,
like.
boop, boop.
Do you want to know more people? Is that
Sure. Socializing. How hard is that?
I've got one. If you want somebody.
Evidently very difficult. You know how hard it is? Let's raiding more water. You're so right. I haven't drank. Wait.
Oh my gosh.
Nyamu,
She's
thank you
trying her
for the...
best.
I'm
She's
trying
I
my
do.
best.
It depends.
one?
I have one. I have one too. Basically, it's a dog raiding a dog.
A
That's
dog
fine.
raiding a dog.
Dog raid dog.
Hold on. I'll get the name.
This year, oh my god, what if I make more friends this year? Is that crazy? Is that crazy? I might make more friends
BB
this
Biscuit
year.
is really cool. BB is very cool.
Yeah, I like BB.
Hold on, I think I
And
can do
she's
this. Let
also.
me see. Can I do this? Can I do this?
Can you? You have a hammer.
Hammer does not let me start the
Oh.
raid, though. That's unfortunate.
Can
But
you
basically,
tell I don't know
BB is also a dog, so you might
Yes.
get along.
Yes.
Bark, 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 bark.
Okay.
Did you
Kanna,
just slap
start
your
the raid.
Oala?
Kanna, start the raid. Kanna,
I'm
Kanna,
sorry. Okay.
start the raid.
I accidentally smacked the bottle to the table.
Oopsie.
You could
Amazing.
use. You could always make the whole gong noise.
She
You know the one I
started the
do.
raid.
Alright!
Chat. She did
Ding,
the
ding, ding, ding,
thing.
ding. Guys, I had so much fun. I don't want to say goodbye, but I have to go.
Goodbye, Kanna. Have a good rest of your birthday.
The free meeting has ended. Dang, right on dang time, huh? Seriously though, guys, thank you so much for spending the morning with me. You really made my day. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna be a sob. I'm not gonna be a sob. I'm I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna get ready and everything. But thank you so much, you guys. Had so much fun. Guys make me so happy. I held it in and I didn't cry. Did you know? Did you know I was trying my best? Now I'm gonna cry in the last minute. I'm gonna cry by myself in the shower. Thank you for spending my birthday with me. Thank you for spending my birthday with me. Have a lovely time, you guys. Happy birthday. Hope you have a wonderful. Thank you so much. And I get pats too. That's crazy. And it's gone.